are celebrating young people today, and we have a representative from Lofe Adenike Alao. She's here to talk about the upcoming food kitchen event. And also there is our youth advocate, Dio Israel, here to talk about his upcoming project. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Let's start very quickly with Lofe. You come here every year towards your project. For those that don't know you, tell us what Lofe is about and what you're doing.
Okay, so lofelofe.com is a family of volunteers. What we essentially do is we strive to improve the community through different activities. So in the previous years, we've done various activities in Oshodi, Paint the City. We've done food kitchen in Agege and Mushin. So it's a food kitchen event that entails a series of activities where people get, basic, medical care. They get actual food. They get registered, and there are different, gift stations where they can get free gifts and, take the gifts home. So, in a nutshell.
What are you doing this year? I mean, where are you doing? What's the venue? What is going to happen?
So
what's different this year?
So what's different this year is that we are actually emphasizing on a cleaner environment. So we are partnering with recyclers and also to enable like low income communities to be able to give their waste and get value for their waste. Oh, wow. So yeah, it's taking place at Loma Grounds, Oshodi Expressway, opposite Corner Oil Filling Station.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah.
Well
at
done.
9 a.m. Yes.
On which day?
On Saturday, 9th September.
So no
yes.
food this year?
No, there's food. I said there's food.
There's food, but you want people to bring their waste, their plastics or something.
Yes, well, so there's going to be a recycler stand. So they'll be sensitizing people on raising awareness on improving their environment and, how they can get value for, bringing their waste. So there's going to be a stand dedicated to that.
Oh, fantastic.
Yes.
Let's move on to Dio Israel.
I'm actually trying the food part of that. I like it. So
no, you have to participate in other parts.
Whenever we see a politician on the set, we know you're doing something. So what's going on, Dio? Because you're a young person.
I'm not here as a politician, right?
You're here as a young advocate, a youth advocate. So what are you doing that's impressive?
I recently ran for chairman in Lagos Mainland local government. It was an interesting experience for me. I got to realize that politics is an industry. It's a business. It's a sector in its own. And one of the things I saw was that it's also an art. There's an art to politics. And so if we're saying young people come and get involved, not too young to run, not too young to run, the reality is many of the people who are actually now not too young to run do not have the exposure, the knowledge, the capacity, the strategy, the structure to be able to run. We're all talking about independent candidacy, but people don't understand that there's a lot of things that have to do with it. So what I'm trying to do is through our foundation, GLEAD Foundation for Leadership and International Development, we've done a lot of stuff in terms of mobilizing people in the past. In 2010, in partnership with TVC, we ran some jingles to get people to go and register to vote. We're taking that to a different level. We're training young people across the 6 geopolitical zones of Nigeria on what they need to understand about practical politics in Nigeria. How do you get involved in, for example, the mainstream party to say you want to run? How do you go to your local government? How do you go to your ward level? We have a panel. We have 5 panels tomorrow. One of the panel is not too young, but too broke to run. Funding, financing, and crowdfunding your campaign. How do you have a passion, but you need to raise money, get family and friends, practical steps for people who have done it before to run your campaign? We have a panel on winning with women. And the idea is lessons for women who are planning to join politics and those who want the women's vote. So on that panel, we have Ajia Zainab Maina, who was the former Minister of Women Affairs.
Okay. Let's break down the panel.
Go ahead,
I feel
we have Ajia Zainab Maina, former Minister for Women Affairs. We have, as a matter of fact, that panel is going to be streamed live on one of our media partners. We have Abike Dabiri. We have Barrister Fendi, who is a woman, the first woman police secretary of the Labour Party. So we have people from all the various parties to come and share their practical experiences on, what challenge do you even face? So you're a woman. They say women's strongest opposition sometimes are women themselves. So how do you, as a woman who wants the women's support on your side, are able to rally around women? We have another panel on internal democracy, party supremacy, and your vision to lead. How do you manage it? So I had a passion and vision to lead Lagos Mainland, but of course we had to have a consensus candidacy. It wasn't my turn at that time. How do you deal with those issues? How do you deal with the fact that you can be told to step down or say you have to go and kill, you have to wait? It's not your time.
After your election, there was somewhere I read that you said you were not going to go again. Is that true?
For chairman.
For chairman, but you still run for another political.
When the time is right.
There is this popular saying that the youth we are our biggest problem when it comes to even politics and general life. What do you think about that?
I beg to differ. I think that the society has made us what most of us have become. You know, you live in a society where the basic amenities are not there. You live in a society where you're not encouraged, where it's all man for himself. So it's been challenging actually being young people in this Nigeria or in Africa in particular. But there are some progresses. I was in Uganda 4 weeks ago for the Commonwealth Youth Ministers meeting. While I was there, I met with a lot of MPs from Uganda. There are about 300 members of the National Assembly of Uganda. Mariah, would you believe that out of about that 300, 180 of them are members of the National Assembly of Uganda are under the age of 30.
Whoa.
The youngest of them is 19 years old. Go and Google, it's right there. 19 years old member of the National Assembly of Uganda. I have a friend now, Juliet, who's 24, and she's a major voice in the Uganda National Assembly and National Parliament. As a matter of fact, in addition to the general seat in the National Assembly of Uganda, they also have 5 dedicated youth seats and 1 dedicated women's seat that people across the country must vote for.
So
that you understand the importance of...
One, you said dedicated. While we were striving, the constitutional amendment was striving to ensure that there is a dedicated percentage for women in politics. And some said, don't hand it to them on a platter of gold. And a lot of people on the floor voted against it. What are you doing to use your platform to advocate concerning getting it to be compulsory to have women and young people compulsorily fill a specific slot on the floors of our National Assembly, because they will make the laws that will favor the populists on the long run.
Right.
2.
Let him answer that first, because I have to go.
That's part of my very strong passion, part of what we're trying to achieve. First, we want to build the capacities of the people, that even if they say they're not going to give seat, there are a lot of things you need to understand, and that's what we're doing tomorrow at Eco Club, the arcade hall of Eco Club off Body Thomas in Surulere, from 9 a.m. till about 5 p.m. We have a lot of leaders who are going to be sharing practical for them to be able to know what to do.
Let me take this call from Omami. Omami, are you there? I'm sorry for keeping you. Let me come to Lofe. You hear all these issues of young people trying to start something. You started this, you and your team started this project of giving back, because everybody, it seems as if young people are waiting for somebody to give them something on a platter of gold. But you've taken the initiative to solve a communal problem that in many countries they feel, okay, the government should provide these things anyway. How did you come to terms with the fact that you're taking responsibility for your community?
So I feel, for us, I feel everyone has a social responsibility, no matter how small. You know, people think that, oh, you have to do something on a large scale, but, you know, little drops of water make a mighty ocean. So if it's, you know, from lending, you know, old clothes that you don't need to maybe neighbors or people on your street. So, you know, starting from, you know, where you are. So, I mean, that's...
Taking the initiative.
Yeah, exactly. So...
I'll take a mom's call, then I'll come to Nima. Mommy, are you still there?
Hello, good morning.
Morning, thanks for calling.
I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, I want to ask. You know, there are some people who feel like they don't have any talent, that they feel they can't do anything. So such people, how can they change that mentality? They feel they don't have what it takes to make impact. So such people, how can they change that way of thinking?
Thank you, Mommy. Yes.
You know, tomorrow, Pastor Sam Adeyemi has been invited to speak at the event. He's one of the only 2 keynote speakers. The other is a panelist who is speaking at the event. And his title of his speech is Having the Right Mindset for Leadership. The challenge is most people do not have the right mindset. Most people are even dealing with self-esteem issues. They're dealing with personal issues themselves, and they think that they're not right. And a lot of people say to us, oh, young people, they are worse than the people. The reality is that if you say the young people are worse, then you have failed, because you created the young people. You created society that produced those young people. So part of what we're also doing is we're setting up a political academy called the Ready, Run, Win Academy, where we want to begin to train young people and produce them for the public sector and the public service community.
I want to answer Wumi. Quick answer to Wumi. Kim Kardashian was popularly known to be untalented. She doesn't have any skill. She can't act, she can't sing, she can't do anything.
She still doesn't.
Yet, until date, she doesn't. But she's one of the richest young women we have. So, Wumi, you don't need to have a skill or a talent. But just whatever you have, use.
No, everybody was even created with something. Everybody was created with a seed. You only have to, it's not that it's not there. You need to find it and be confident that it matters. Let nobody tell you that your gift is nothing. You know, if you sing in the bedroom, work on it, on that skill. It's going to get you somewhere someday.
So that you decided to abandon chairmanship, which is the lowest, closest to the people form of government. And what I see, I would have loved that you mentor. We don't have the quality of leaders that we want at that level. Personally, that's my own belief. And I think that's why you ran out of it. So I would have loved that you mentored people and that you ensured that we had that quality set of leaders running for that office.
That's actually what we're doing tomorrow.
And how to make sure that, some hijackers, those who don't actually have it but believe that they are entitled, because they are dubawani, that kind of thing. They don't hijack this, these offices and waste them every year. Or every 4 years.
That's actually what we're doing. We're raising grassroots leaders. We're empowering. For example, in the community where I came out from, an average young person of my age never aspire for chairman. They look at council and they tell us, start small and, grow yourself. But, the point is, many of these young people actually have the potential. Look at what she's doing. I don't know how young she is, but look at what she's doing. I've been involved in this industry for 20 years. This is my 20th year. After Tabela was coming to Nigeria in 1998, I was the youngest person on the table in MK house, on the boardroom of, the decisions that gave back to kind in Nigeria today. I was part of CLO in 1999. I was the one-day commissioner for information. I was in the Children's Parliament in the year 2005. So you want to say that all those experiences have not prepared us for leadership? No, that's wrong. There are a lot of people who have been
involved. Let me take this call from Adetunji. Adetunji, are you there? Hello, Adetunji.
Yeah.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
I want to commend a young man in the house. It's a sort of inspiration to a lot of people that are watching. And I want to use this forum to encourage others that are watching the program to not to condemn the elderly, but at least to enter into the platform, enter into any party, whether it is this or that, and go and make impact. If we all keep silent, evil will prevail. I want to comment on a few. Well done, and God bless you.
Thank you very much.
There's an opinion that the young people advocating to run for politics right now are just doing it to go and everybody is making money. Let me go and get my own piece of the national cake. Let the old people go so that we young people can start making this money too. How are you addressing that with your events?
So the point is, that's a mindset they're trying to create, that we're not ready, that we can't do it because they want to perpetuate themselves. Look at what Nika is doing, for example, solving a problem in our community. Do you think she's not a material to be in the House of Assembly, producing laws that would help to make life better for people? You are on the media here. Do you think you can't be the chairman Senate Committee on Media? No, but they keep telling us that we cannot do that. No, we are actually trying to change the trajectory of all of this.
Well, so hopefully, just finally for our viewers, when is Lofe Lofe happening and what time can?
So Lofe Lofe is happening this Saturday, 9 a.m. Loma Grounds, Cele bus stop, opposite Cornell Filling Station.
What do you need from our people?
So volunteers. So if you want to volunteer, there are different standpoints. We actually have a beauty box. So beauty box for people who want to do makeup. There's general volunteers. There's media, and if you want to donate, you can bring your items to the venue. So whatever it is, food, old appliances, old clothes, new clothes as well.
Okay.
So,
all right, cool. Yeah. And you're finding you
tomorrow, 9 o'clock, 7th of September, from 9 till about 5 o'clock, Nigeria's Emerging Political Leaders Forum at Eco Club in Surulere off Body Thomas. You can go online or Eventbrite and just Google Nigeria's Emerging Political Leaders Forum or our Instagram at GleedFound. You find more information.
Thank
it's
you very
free
much.
Of charge.
Thank you very much. No, it's free. Thank you very much. All right, so we're still celebrating young people doing great things. When we come back, our inspirational guest of the month takes the couch. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Welcome back. Alawale Ayilara is a dynamic personal development speaker, an enterprise development coach, a trainer, a vibrant, innovative young entrepreneur whose strong abilities include business development, ideas, creative and strategy development. He is also the president, Nigerian Advocates for Positive Change. Welcome to the show. So I'm doing introduction because I met you.
No problem.
We spoke together at Inspiration Day by Niya Desoya. We were speaking to about 3,000 NYC
core
members. And I listened to you and I felt like, no, we got to bring this guy to the show. We have to bring him to the show. You mentioned how, while you were in school, you had a company, Beyond School Initiative, where you were teaching your fellow students what to do after school, how to plan for after school. You also mentioned, which shocked me, that your company has this year done a turnover of 8 billion.
Yay!
And you are just 29 years old.
My company.
Your company. Fantastic. And you are just 29. So I said, you are our inspiration. Okay. Tell us how you got here.
8 billion. For real? That's a lot of money, man.
How I got here? Okay, I registered my first business at the age of 14.
14?
Yeah, 14. So my first registered business with Corporate Affairs Commission. So that was when I was 14. And it was in Abeokuta then. So I just wanted to do business. I like business. And I just believe that I'm a voracious reader, and I was studying the society then. That I have uncles that you know, they finished school and they had nothing to do. And I was telling myself, do I really want to finish school and then be in these people's shoe? So I've just got to do
wait,
that.
Tell us a bit about your background, because when you say you register a business at 14, a lot of 14-year-old kids are out there on computer doing PlayStation. So what exactly, how did you even know there was something called a business? How do you, were you talking to your parents? Were your parents talking to you about business? How did you come about that decision to register a business?
Okay, I learned while making mistakes. You know, I finished my secondary school back then, and then I didn't have my O-level, so I was at home doing nothing. Then I had to be here in Lagos to retake my SSC. So I was in a place where, you know, I had a lot of information, a lot of books. The person has a personal library, so I'll go there and read. So then I wanted to now start like a coaching center I didn't have my SSC, so I was like, okay, I could just bring people together and then we could study together. So I started a coaching center. So in me trying to do some things, and then like I think the very first time was when the more reason why I had to register the business was I needed to open an account that people could pay into.
At 14?
Yes. So they told me that, okay, you need to have a registered business.
What kind of business did you register at the time?
I registered Eagles Insight and Innovations.
Just the business name?
Yes,
Eagles Insight and Innovations.
So like, all you do there is just bring people together to learn.
But that actually didn't work.
Right,
that actually didn't work. So I didn't get to do it, but I registered the business. Then again, it was now newsletter, advert newsletter. So I started with that officially. So
where did you study advert newsletter?
I think I was in 100 level when I started that. Yeah, in school. So it was advert newsletter, and then people get to.
A lot of people do business in school. I had a business in school. A lot of people, we all sold one thing or the other while in school. And it affected at some level. I remember my dad saying, stop pursuing money, you're not focusing. So how did you balance things, and how did it affect the outcome at the end of the day? Because, you know, we were all pursuing a first class or a 2-1. But because being in everything, politics, business, everything in school at the time would affect something. How did you turn out, and how did it affect your
number one was that I mean, I was so sure about what I needed to do. And I needed to make a clarification of what I need to help me achieve what I want to do. So I've always known that there are some things that are not part of my ladder to success.
Of purpose.
Yes, there are some things that are not part of my ladder to success. Though I was studying one of the most tedious courses on campus, then it was petrochemical science and all that. But I was, apart from even running business, I had Beyond School Initiative, which was about 500 members that I had to talk to every Monday. We had a vocational training center, and then we have all on campus that I rent out to fellowships.
You were teaching your fellow students?
Yes. Not like I was speaking to them and all that, trying to motivate them to do something about their life and all that. So, but it was really not very easy balancing that.
So what did you finish with?
I didn't pass too much, I didn't fail too much. It was just in the middle.
So wait, how was revenue in school? I mean, were you making money, or was it just, do we just give him back? Because obviously by talking to students and encouraging them, it's more like like a service kind of job, not necessarily revenue.
Yes, Beyond School Initiative was not a business.
Right.
It was just something that was just a passion for me. So I was spending my money.
Right.
Sometimes I would spend my school fees, I would just do one or two things to make it back. So I did a
What business were you doing when you were in school?
I had the Beyond School Lounge. Which we were renting it out to fellowships. Wow. And then I had a mini restaurant on campus where we were frying plantain, yam, and all that, and selling. Then I had books. Like because I'm a voracious reader, so I buy into a lot of books. So I rent it out to fellow students to read,
Yeah,
and I
right
make
now,
just
you
doing
know,
business.
youth, a lot we can complain that the government is not doing a lot of things for us and why things are not going on well. What are those things that the youth really need to put their hands and their minds on and leave the government out of some of the things and make sure that their lives, you know, are fashioned the way they want it to be?
Nigeria right now is in a state that we are not in an enabling environment as it is, but there's a whole lot of opportunities in Nigeria. And a lot of people are really doing massive work because of what the social media is, because of the leverage of social media right now. But a lot of people just need to look within and know that I am my own destiny. And I need to do something about my life.
Tell us
because
about
it's not just about...
Tell us about the business that you're doing now. How did you start it? Who are your partners? How did you come about? What problem were you trying to solve in doing this business?
Okay. After I failed in so many businesses,
Right.
I do business. At the point I had a vocational school in Ogun State, and then we were able to train about over 3,000 people in that state. Then again, did some, other things, sold the father had the experience and all that.
You sold the father the experience?
Yes. So, and that was a very major loss. Anyway, then again, after trying my hands on so many businesses, then I decided, okay, I need to relocate back to Lagos and then see what I can try my hands on. So then I traveled to South Africa. It was like for 1 month, and I was really doing extensive study. I was doing research on internet and all that, where money is going in Nigeria. So I really spent 1 month to study where people put their money in Nigeria. Because if you study where people are putting their money, so you have to chase it and get your own share of where people are. So
please,
you
where
have
are
to
people
follow the
putting their
money.
money in
So
Nigeria?
I did that, and then one of the areas that I get to figure out was real estate.
Real estate.
Yes. So I came back and then I started. But it was, trying to do real estate now, it's massive funding.
Yes.
But I didn't start by just buying lands and all that. I started with digital marketing for real estate. So I started servicing the real estate industry, training, because I've always been involved in training. So I started training real estate digital marketing. So that really helped me to have a lot of network in the real estate market. And one of the things I started, because it is not what you don't have that limits you, what you have that you don't know how to use. So there was one of my clients that has this property and could not just sell it. So, but I'm into real estate digital marketing. So I just walk up to the guy, I can help you sell this plot, and that was how we started.
Partner with you. I have property.
And that was how it all started. Okay, you have the plot, but you don't know the technical know-how to sell it. I have the technical know-how to sell it, which means that I'm the one with the brain power.
That's because you've developed that
Yes,
network
that
of
skill.
people.
Yes,
And it
that
took a
network
while
of
to
people and all.
build it. Can you talk about the place of sacrifice?
Yeah, sacrifice. For me, it was years of unrelented. I was just at it. I was so determined to make it work. I was determined to make it work for myself, because there's naturally now you don't need anything to motivate you. School fees will motivate you, house rent will motivate you, bills will motivate you, so you just have to get things done.
So I hear you talk about how you do one business failure, another business failure. Why the resilience? Why did you never think of giving up? Is it that you did not have family members who will say, "Sure, you
I had a lot
face
of them.
one thing
A lot of
and
them.
go to school"?
I had a lot of them.
So
At the
why-
point,
how did you
it was
mean?
a discussion with my dad. It was like, okay, you need to get a 9-to-5 job. But I know, the number one thing is having a perfect understanding of your configuration, having a perfect knowledge of who you are and what you can do and what your abilities are. It might not be working, but at the same time, you have so much confidence in yourself. So for me, it was like, I was so determined as to what I want to do. So then, getting a lot of people demotivating me, I'll just go to my, the corner of my room. I'm excited about my ideas. Once, if this idea is not working, I'm excited about the next one. So the excitement of the next one gets me going.
Motivates you. Okay, let's take a quick break. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So Esther, you had a question.
Yes, the youth these days are mostly on social media and slaying and, you know, girls, guys,
Posing.
and, you know. So my own take is that, my question now is, what is that role in making, is there anything positive about that, or are there more negatives about, social media for the youth?
You know, when we have positive, we have negative as well. But just that a lot of, see, the same 1 gig data that somebody will buy is the same 1 gig data another person will buy and make a lot of money with it. Some people are doing YouTube videos, some people are doing Instagram videos, kids online and all that. So it depends on, how hungry
I'm struggling to sell a market on
it
social
depends
media.
on how, you know, a lot of people are just complacent. A lot of people are not hungry because of the enabling environment, little enabling environment that their parents has given to them.
Let me take this
A lot
call
of people have to be.
from Kayode from Ikorodu. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Thanks for calling. Go ahead, please.
Yes. Please, I want to talk to your guest. I'm actually into architecture, and I've always had an eye on real estate. So I need a kind of mentorship. I don't know how you can be of help.
We'll share his. Do you mentor?
And can you mentor him?
Yes, I'm on Instagram. They can send me.
You're not very active on Instagram.
I am actually very active. So.
I wanted to ask you about funding. You've done plenty of things. Like you say you fail and you just move on. You say you fail, you just move on. And you need money to be starting all these initiatives. Where are you getting to move on? You need money.
So tell us
how do you fund your ideas?
For over 5 years, I was constantly in debt with friends and family. At a point, my friends will see me and say, hey, this guy is about to borrow the next month. So I'm always borrowing for the next idea. Fine, it wasn't too good, but I'm always believing that, okay, the next idea will pay back what I'm borrowing. But it was a very tough one for me because a lot of people think, okay, you borrow money, you don't get to pay back on time. There's a lot of insult that comes with it. There's a lot of, but what excites me most is my ideas. Is the fact that one day, one idea will hit.
Okay, let's talk about your business a bit because real estate is a tough business. Yes. People always are scared of scammers, are scared of people trying to take their money. What process have you put in place? How do you run your business such that you're not viewed as a scammer?
There's a lot of things to learn in the industry. And one thing that a lot of people don't have is the information, enough information about what they are doing. Before starting into real estate, I studied about nothing less than about 22 books.
Okay.
So, and I'm always online trying to learn how to disrupt the market, how to innovate more in the market, and how to be more creative in the market. There's a lot of scamming things going on in the market. But one thing will stand you out. If you provide a very quality service and people know you that you have integrity and you are very open. If you're coming to my business now, for instance, I will give you all the documents. One of my competitors walked into my office one day and was telling me that, okay, because, failed in his own real estate business, and I was asking him, how were you able to sell all those properties without people knowing? He said that he has bought into some people in Alausa that once they just go there, and a lot of people do all sorts of things like that. But at the same time, it's just about you being open to clients, because there's no... Now that we have internet, there's nothing you can't find out. Right. If you are being scammed right now in Nigeria, it's because you want to be scammed. Yes. Because you choose to, because there's a lot of ways you can get to. Right. We'll take you to site. We'll give you all the documents for you to verify.
You talked about reading. And, because the way you've talked, you've always, researched before you do something. Yes. I want you to emphasize on that part for the benefit of listeners and, people trying to go into any business. You don't just see a person doing a business and then you go into it. You find out how to go into it. Yes. How many hours of reading time do you put into everything? Or are you just a book lover, you read every day?
It depends on my mood. Right. But most times, minimum, I invest nothing less than 4 hours into information. I go on there's nothing you want to do that is new. There's nothing that is new. Somebody have done it before. People have spent years doing that business. So you go online, go on. Google is the Solomon of our time. So he knows everything. There are billions of information available online as to what you want to do.
I'm Esther now. I'm a young person. I'm a youth. I have an idea of what I want to do, and I don't have funds, but I know something is burning inside of me I want to do. How do I start? Okay.
There was a conference I went to, and this was the question. I don't have funds to do what I want to do. I don't have funds to do what I want to do. if you think well enough, if you think really, really well enough, there is nothing you cannot start. I mean, there is nothing, that idea that you think you need funds to start, tell me one idea that you need funds to start, and I will tell you
where you get the funds.
How you would do it without needing funds.
Okay, I want to start selling
Okay,
shoes.
you talk about that after
No,
the
not
show.
me.
Let me take this call.
Okay, now.
Let me
You can.
Sorry?
Now, she's saying that she wants
Just,
to...
just example, just
okay, that
somebody
you want to
wants
start
sell
selling shoes. Okay, somebody is selling that. There is somebody that you want to buy from. I will go to that person's shop. All I will ask that person is, can I take pictures? Once I take the pictures, I'll post it on my Instagram. I will send it to people. And one order is what I need. Once I can get one order, and I'll add my own little profit on it, I'll go to the person, pay
Right.
the person, get the
Let me
shoe,
take
and-
Adegboyega's call. Are you still there?
Malawale?
Yes, please.
Yeah, please. In a situation where you have someone with a lot of talent or a lot of things in your head, I don't know whichever, as in which one to start with, or which one that will bring forth what you really want. How do you cope about that? How do you do about that? As in, you have a lot of things in you, a lot of inspirations, a lot of talent in you. So how do you discover the one that brings forth your first fruit?
Thank you very much.
Focus is very important, and you have to do one thing at a time. There is a difference between passion and economic survival. Your passion might not necessarily bring money. When you survive economically, then you can go after passion. What Bill Gates is doing now, giving money to malaria, that is passion. And I mean, just NGO, because you can fund your NGO when you survived economically. So sometimes you have to ask yourself where any idea that you have in your head, it depends on the reason why you want to do the idea, but you have to ask yourself, where is the money coming from? Is this, if by the time I'm rolling out this idea, is it a want or is it a need? Sometimes if it's want, then you're operating in a luxury market. But if it's need, you will get the money very fast.
Okay, let me take this final call. Alaroye, are you there?
Need.
Yeah.
My name is Alaroye from Bagada.
Olaoye, please go ahead.
Alaroye.
Alaroye.
Second time caller. Yeah, Alawale, that is good inspiration. But as a young guy like me, I'm a married man, and I have an inspiration in having a gas plant. Although I'm working with a company presently, a filling station, which they have a gas plant. So ever since I've joined the company, I have a passion in having a gas plant. Though I had a land in Ibadan with my parents, so I moved down to Lagos to come out also. So I have the passion for that, but I didn't have the capital. When I asked the amount I'm going to start, it's about 2 to, let's say I have $1 million sharp. So how do you want me to go into that kind of business? But I have a passion for it, and I want to.
Point taken.
You need a business coach. There's room for...
Start small and grow big. Whatever you want to do, there is always this...
Starting point.
There is always a starting point. And that starting point sometimes will not necessarily require cash from you. And so now, if your idea now requires cash, let's say capital, you now need capital. You can't go to the bank because you are probably a credibility deficient entrepreneur. Banks will not borrow you money. The only people banks borrow money is credibility enabled entrepreneur, which are people that have proven themselves over time that they can borrow and then return back. So, but if your idea needs funding or capital, then you need to look within yourself, friends and family. If your idea is very sound enough, you'll be so shocked that you just share it. This is why people don't get friends putting money together for their ideas, because okay, they believe if I share this idea, somebody will steal it. There's no new idea. That idea that you are,
We have
trying to keep.
Yes.
So just.
Thank you very much, Alawale, for inspiring a lot of people out there. Thank you very much. Unfortunately, that's all we can take on the show today. Thanks for joining us. Have a fabulous day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.